Okay, you're live. I'll be right back. It's funny, I can't really hear you. Yeah, I'm all messed up.
Here we go. I'll plug in. Now you can hear me.
Yes.
And I just spoke for a whole 2 minutes to people without realizing my headphones were in. So it's my kind of morning this morning. That's okay.
Yeah, I guess it is. It's Monday.
It's Monday. Okay, so good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Dana and Wendy Coffee Time Show, or the Coffee Time Show with Wendy and Dana. And it is Monday morning, and my brain just arrived at the front door. So, and you still can't hear me?
I can hear you, yeah.
Oh, okay. But
not with the headphones.
Not with the headphones. But no, I was going to say it's minus 23 here this morning. It's a little chilly. We've got big things planned for the weekend. I had a fabulous weekend. Johnny and I got some stuff finished in the basement, so that was amazing. It's always nice to have someone with you that can tell you what to do, or I can tell them what to do. So it's a lot harder than it thinks. James was muttering on about, I'll go downstairs and I'll clean it up. You'll see. I'm like, oh, you go right ahead, brother. Knock yourself out. You go ahead.
Yeah, my weekend was pretty lax. We were just, it was cold, so I think we just stayed around and watched movies all weekend. Not a big football fan, so I didn't get into the football situation, but it was, my husband worked night shift, so we had to stay quiet in the house anyways. It's all good. I'm an introvert. I like staying alone. I like hunkering down reasons.
We are officially rewatching the Harry Potter series. Harry Potter.
Oh, officially. Nice.
Well, and then, you rewatch them. You watch them when they first came out, like 2002, 2000, right? So, and then you watch them again now. And both James are like, I don't remember that at all. So I don't know. It must have been baby brain. I have no idea.
Well, that's okay then, because it's in a whole new adventure then.
It's a whole new movie, whole new adventures. Yes. Did I tell you that he watched Bridgerton with me?
Yes.
He was that bored, and
oh, wow.
He watched as many movies as he possibly could have last week, and he finally watched Bridgerton. He really enjoyed it.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
No, my husband doesn't. He'll fall asleep to that, or unless it's got some fast cars in it or
I
something like
watched I watched Chick Fight. We have a Android box, so I watched Chick Fight. Really good chick flick movie.
that.
Awesome. Really, really good. And yeah, he fell asleep in 5 minutes. So
That's funny.
definitely.
That's
No, it was a
funny.
good funny movie. It was good. Just a plain old movie. But so what are your plans for this week, Wendy?
My goodness.
You're finishing up your Shred 10?
Yes, that's coming to a finish on Wednesday, I believe. It's a 10-day situation. So, I mean, people that are really enjoying it, and I know that there's a few, are going to continue, I'm sure, implementing these protocols, if you want to call them that. We're going to be finishing up that. This week I'm going to talk about vitamin L all week because you know what's coming
It's
up. I
Valentine's,
mean,
yes.
that's,
Awesome.
I don't know. And heart health basically, and just continuing with that theme and
Mhm.
just looking at all the different aspects of why nutrition is so important for heart health and why we need to have, as women, you know, basically fiber and omega-3 fatty acids and all these wonderful things that are so important for our health. Is yeah, it's important, and I mean, I don't think we can say it enough, really, to be
No.
honest.
Yep.
It's something that we really have to continue on and implementing and really focusing in and trying to get people to get that message across to people because heart disease is I think it is the biggest killer for women. And it's not only just heart disease, it's that silent killer that comes and sneaks up on us before we even know it. Because we kind of just like, whoo, poo-poo with that little chest pain, or we don't realize our stress levels, or we don't realize our heart is breaking and we don't address it. You know, all these different levels of heart disease that can really affect us. And we just go and we push through a lot of times. And I know I'm just as bad as everybody else, perhaps sometimes worse because I'm really stubborn. But I get chest pains. I have high blood pressure. I have issues. My heart has been broken. All these different things and I have heart disease that runs through my family.
Mhm.
These are all things that have to be addressed. And I focus on different things, you know, my family's health, my children's health, my animals' health, I focus on different things. And as a woman, I'm always taking care of somebody else before I take care of myself too. So this is something that I can definitely talk to. And I know, and you know, it's very much um, a reminder for myself as well as everybody else too. So it's
Mhm.
so very important. And that vitamin L is what we're talking about, is love basically. And I was first introduced to it, and when I heard about it, I almost cried. It was one of the books that we read in our education when we took our nutritionist course. Eldon Hawes, Dr. Hawes, and it was in one of his books. And like I said, when I was reading it, I started to cry basically because it was so profound and it hit me so hard. I actually emailed him and he emailed me back and he was like, "Oh, I'm so happy for you," like, because it was just like, wow, it is so so important. And
It is.
yeah,
Yeah,
um,
Mark David talks about the vitamin
yeah,
L all the time as
yeah,
well.
he does
So
too, yeah.
he's been he's always such a good speaker as well. So
Yeah, I'm going to be looking into that a little bit more. And there's that other one. I haven't finished reading it, but a heart math. I think this is probably something that I'm going to finish the month off with. And because it seems to be that it's coming up with a lot of TED Talks that I'm listening to, with a lot of um, different aspects with regards to heart health, as well as
yeah,
emotional health and physical health as well too. So that heart math, I don't
yeah.
know who wrote it, but it's definitely uh, very, very profound and hits you on many, many levels for sure. Yeah.
A lot of the therapies for accidents or concussion therapies or those types of things for rewiring the brain and the heart and creating that understanding of stress management, the heart math application is used quite often. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Yep. So that's
very, very
basically
good.
what I'm doing this month, or this
That's
week, anyways.
good. That's
Um,
good. I'm just each day of the week, I am talking at 3 o'clock every day and doing a 30-day podcast launch or challenge with my podcast coach. And
oh,
so today I'll be talking about hormones and health as always. Tuesdays I'll be featuring supplements and product highlights. Tuesdays are all sorts of different tools and hacks in the world and things that I use myself in clinic as well. And Thursday is all about habits, creating healthy habits. And Fridays always end up with how to spark up your weekend. So, and
nice.
that can be a bunch of different things. I just like this whole spark, creating spark and kind of increasing that focus because, you are I mean, you are supposed to be taking care of yourself on the weekends. You're supposed to be reaching out, your self-love, self-care, or that family care or spiritual care,
Mm-hmm.
a little more intentional. And actually signing off of social media for the weekends. As much as I love social media, you need to create better boundaries in health. And this affects your health in many levels.
Oh, yeah.
So it you need to create a bit of time for yourselves, and that's what Fridays are all about, is that creating that time for your love, for your partners, for your families, for your friends, and disconnecting a little bit from the world and looking at the world around you. Even as limited as that is with COVID, the limitations are boundless when you're looking at um, going beyond or stretching yourself or maybe trying a new activity or those types of things. So that's really exciting. And then all February leading up to my launch of the Wise Divine Woman Hormone Academy and the Hormone Transformation, which is a 12-week intensive. So I'll be talking about that more every day, about what that involves. And yeah, so it's been exciting. It's been a good month. It's going to be a busy month. It's already the 8th, and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, we're already 8 days in. There's so much to do.
Well, it sounds like you've got it really planned out, and that's amazing because
Mhm.
usually it's the other way around.
Usually it's the other way around. Oh, I
Usually
had
I'm the
so
one
much
that's all
planned.
planned out
Yeah,
and ready to
I have
go, and
my
I'm just like,
my new planner
I don't
from
know, we're
Rachel.
talking loud.
So, yeah, writing everything down in a planner for me, as much as I love using my phone and love using computer, there's that level of writing stuff down with a pen and is just makes it more tangible, actually. So,
Yeah.
mhm.
Yeah, I mean, I was old school too. I love, but I end up having too many of them around. Again, I have to look around and see
Yeah,
which schedule I'm using for
I have
what.
my 6-minute diary here
Nice.
that I use in the morning and at night, and it is super simple. And again, it's just asking questions like, what am I grateful for? This is how I'll make today great. Positive affirmation that I want to focus on for the day. Gives me weekly challenges as well. But then at the end of the day, you go back and you review and you say, my good deed for the day was, and how I'll improve for tomorrow, and great things that I experienced today. So it's nice to just have that sort of quickness to things. And then there's always a note page to sort of add on to and focus on habits that you're trying to change as well. So I really enjoyed, and I just this whole 6 minute sort of philosophy of things. Um, and this is a beautiful, I haven't really never purchased a hardbound book like forever. So it feels really awesome. Something about that, right?
There's something about a book for sure.
Something about a book, and then even my planner is hardbound. So
Wow.
something I know all fancy this year for sure, but it's very tangible, very solid, gives you that, I don't know, there's something about that texture and feel, and I'm all about the senses anyways, so yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it makes a big difference for sure. Especially when you're, you keep it close in hand and you actually use it. A lot of people will buy all this stuff and it's all really good, but if you
I'm
don't use
guilty.
it, it's not going to
I'm
be.
guilty. I am guilty
Oh,
of
I am
that.
too,
So
for sure. Like I said, I've got a ton of journals around, and this is something that I do promote and ask people to do, and it's not easy.
it's not.
It's a challenge. You really have to work at it, like anything in life that's worthwhile.
Hmm.
Journaling can be one of the most beneficial things for you because it really does give you like that structure. It's what that is that. Uh, what was the saying that he would say? One business mentor that I was following for a long time, he would say, there is freedom in structure. That's what it was. Or freedom in discipline,
Yep.
about setting yourself up, planning things, and it could be in relation to anything. With you and I, a lot of times, more times than not, it's business. Other times it is for people that whatever their big goal is. So if their big goal is weight loss or fat loss, then really planning it out and really being very disciplined about following through. If it is about healing your heart, again, planning it out. For the most part, you have to look at your meals. You have to look at planning some time in for exercise. You have to plan some time in for quiet time, reflection, perhaps journaling as well too, and just making sure that we follow through. I'm a good planner, but a lot of times it's just, oh, okay. I should be a personal assistant is what I should be because I can plan the shit out of things.
Yes. We've had this discussion before.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure because you have had, like, we talk about this in that aspect of you're a great, even in that whole VA or social media aspect
Yeah.
of things, your shit. Like,
Yeah.
honestly.
It's just for myself to follow through with it, I think too. It's another thing. So
Very, very
actually
true.
Wednesday, I was just reminding myself, I was a bit flustered this morning, reminding myself that this Wednesday I do a weekly Wellness Wednesday wisdom in my Facebook group. And this week I'm talking about roadblocks to believing in yourself, which is kind of almost a little bit of a whoop to what we're actually talking about right now, and how sometimes we self-sabotage with regards to our self-esteem and loving ourselves and putting ourselves first on many, many levels, not just caring for ourselves, which bottom line is I think most of us do, but it's caring for ourselves and then feeding ourselves nourishing food, nourishing our bodies, nourishing it with movement, nourishing it with
Hmm.
proper supplements, nourishing it with the right people in our lives. And then obviously if we don't have these things, why are we doing that? What are the roadblocks that we're putting up for ourselves that's hindering our getting to where we want to be? Again, very apropos to what I was just talking about. Like, why don't we journal? Why don't we follow through with the
Yeah.
scheduling that we put for ourselves? Why? So we're going to be talking about that a lot further on Wednesday. And then on Wednesday. So it's Wisdom Wednesday. When I'm terrible with names.
Wisdom
Wellness
Wednesday.
Wednesday Wisdom.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
then
the alliterations. That's what gets us every time.
I shouldn't do that because I always mess them up. And then on Thursday, taking an opportunity for self-care and going for a colonoscopy. So I won't be coming in. I won't be on the program that day unless we do a later one during that day. But this is something, again, that is very, very important for colon health. Again, my grandmother didn't die of colon cancer, but she definitely had it. And, the very close familial situation that I have in my family with regards to that. So important.
It is
All I
important.
gotta say, it is important. I mean, there's many, many different streams of ways to look after yourself: conventional, holistic, and then all the other ones or whatever. But it's a combination, and I know you and I both have that same frame of mind. It's not totally holistic, it's not totally conventional. It's an
Right.
integration of things. And with my years of nursing and years of being in the system from the other side, anyways, I definitely it's not something that I disagree with by any means. And there's some incredibly miraculous things that happen with conventional medicine, and I strongly urge people to use an integrated approach to their health. Take it into your own hands. Um, I had a bit of a scare, and this is the reason I'm doing it. So it was kind of like the universe's way of pushing me forward. But this is something that I should have been proactive about and doing on my own to begin with, and going before issues start happening. So this is, something that we really definitely have to. And then, same perspective when we look at breast health too, doing that self-exam all the time. And teaching, because I remember growing up in the 80s, they used to teach us breast health and how to touch ourselves and feel. We had an actual breast model in our class, and to feel for the lumps. And we don't have that anymore. The kids nowadays, we don't have that anymore. That initiative has been like checked off of the important list through the government funding and different things like that for whatever reason. And that's why the importance, what you're doing with the Touch Your Tatas program is so, so important for not only our generation, but the generation, our children, because they don't know anything about that anymore.
Were you listening to Darlene in my conversation last night?
No.
Like spirit to spirit? I don't know. This is exactly what we were talking about yesterday. And in that aspect of that, when I started this and we were doing our Paro funding, and we had to come up with goals and things like that. The Touch Your Tatas program was exactly that. It was exactly going to communities and teaching women how to do self breast exams. And not that I don't want my focus to be cancer, because that's not what I'm trained for. And there's many people who are very talented, like Wendy or Candace was, or, there's many, and Angela Ramos, and all sorts of people who are specifically cancer coaches. So my passion and purpose, what I've always felt, has been that be that person to offer prevention, or to look at things before, and to then empower women and men, I suppose, to understand health before things happen. And that was my thing. My thing was and my Paro next stage 2 in my grants and things like that, was to purchase a community pack and get out there in the community and start doing that. So, but that was all halted. And so we'll have to reframe and understand how that's going to change moving forward for education. And that was it. Like the funding for these things in Ontario have been kiboshed, and things change, and that's okay. Things change, but that still shouldn't stop the initial purpose and passion of those people who created these programs to be hindered by funding. And so that's where incredible groups like Paro and even FedNor, things like that, Nickel Basin, all have these incredible programs to help entrepreneurial women and men on their road to what they need to do, right? So that's my next plans, and I hope everyone just sort of comes around, lifts me up in prayer and hope that I can accomplish these great things, because it's the future of healthcare. Really, you have to be proactive.
Prevention.
You have to start in high school. You even have to start earlier than that. And I have to, there's so much to say to that, and maybe that'll be another day, but that's okay.
Yeah, and that's definitely where I basically started all of this, is prevention, because seeing the disease and process, which was death, because I was a palliative nurse, you don't need to go there.
Yep.
It's 95% of this is preventable, and that's the key word, is prevention. But how do
Mhm.
you do that? How do you prevent? So this
Yep.
is why we teach what we do. You through your best health, and me through basically functional nutrition, and looking at basic ways just to clean up your gut and to move forward from there, and look at your life, not through Periscope, but through a wide angle screen, and understand that you are more than just an ache in your elbow. You're more than just a pimple on your back that turns into a scab, that turns into something else. You were more than that. It's the big picture, and
Mhm.
when we look at our health from a preventative aspect, and because I know life is just so chaotic right now, and we have our focus here, we have our focus there, we have our focus all over the place. But when we really start to bring in our focus into ourselves, which is what you and I think this is what we're trying to say to people, is that we have to look at our own health, because if we forget to look at ourselves, that's when these things creep in and take over, and it gets beyond our control of prevention. At that point, it's more of trying to manage and reverse, which is harder, so
Mhm.
much harder. So yay. that's that's it basically.
That's it.
So yeah,
Welcome.
yeah.
So, you guys, we'll leave it at that
Yep, we will.
because we'll see you tomorrow.
We
And
will.
every day changes. We just never know what we're going to talk about. So,
This is why we should schedule it. Brainstorm.
no, I like because
Yeah,
it's hard to
that's good.
say. Today was a valuable, it's a beautiful day, everyone. And honestly, so don't forget on Fridays we do host a live session. Zoom, well, this is live, but we invite people to come on if they want. But if you have questions for us that you want answered and you want some research, and this is valuable,
Mhm.
like you can ask anything.
Yeah.
And let us work on that for you, and we can answer those on Fridays. So join us live on Fridays, and we can help you with that. You guys have an incredible day today, and be blessed on your journey of health.
Yes, have a wonderful day, everybody. See you later.
Bye.
Bye.